In a time of growing division, where religion is often seen as a problem, religious education can't be something that only takes place in the classroom. If we're going to build more compassionate, more cohesive societies, better societies, we need to understand RE as something active, something lifelong, something evolving, something to be taken seriously. Our new Theos report, Beyond the Classroom, in partnership with Culham St Gabriel, explores where this happens. Where are the places and spaces where people of all ages, from all communities and all different kinds of backgrounds, learn about and encounter other religions and worldviews? We've mapped this right across the UK and across sectors including arts and culture, media, sport, public services, interfaith networks, youth work and extracurricular spaces. Over the last year, we've interviewed 46 people across all 4 nations of the UK. That includes people from youth workers, teachers, council workers, staff at places like the National Gallery and local clergy, everyone who has a stake in the religious education of our country. In the report, we look at extracurricular spaces where RE occurs within and around schools and campuses, but in a less formal, kind of extracurricular manner beyond the classroom. Clubs, the playground, chaplaincy spaces, school trips to mosques and cathedrals, all of these are opportunities for informal RE. Next, we explore interfaith spaces and networks, really important points of encounter locally, rooted in community, from faith walks to discussion groups to arts exhibitions and interfaith football tournaments. Spaces and communities where people have the chance to come together and learn about other religions that they might not previously have understood. Next, we take a deep dive into youth work, which with the right resourcing and the right training can be a really important space for informal religious education. We also look at workplace and community religious literacy, places in the community, in the workplace and beyond where people learn about other religions. This goes right through from formal training sessions in sectors like end-of-life care, social work, nurses, medicine training, right through to places like the supermarket, where you might not think you'll encounter religious education, but it can happen a lot more than you realise. There's a chapter as well on arts and culture, looking at spaces like the National Gallery, where I am today, and the way that they use the material that they have and use their community space to teach people about religion or to provide a space where people can learn about that. In the last chapter, we look at the media. While the physical spaces and deliberate strategies and structures in local communities that we've outlined in the rest of the report are really valuable, actually social media, podcasts, TV, reality TV, in fact, can be places where people engage with and learn about religion. And so it's really important that there's a whole chapter exploring that as well. More broadly, our findings are that informal RE is strongest in areas of greatest religious diversity, but there's a greater opportunity for those organic, unstructured encounters with those of other beliefs that happen naturally in the course of daily life, often reinforced by stronger interfaith networks. So it's not a surprise that informal RE varies significantly from borough to borough, from context to context. And nationally, the picture is fairly patchy, but there are lots of examples of good practice at a local level, which we highlight through case studies throughout the report. Where extracurricular RE through encounter is really powerful, it's also more likely to be strongest in areas where curricular provision is similarly strong, with the reverse also true. It makes sense, doesn't it? If your school is more diverse, if the classroom is more diverse, then you're also more likely to have friends at Brownies or at five-a-side of different religions, and those opportunities for informal encounter are kind of doubled or multiplied beyond school as well. So this raises the question of how to develop that better religion and belief literacy, better religious understanding in everyone, not just those living in more diverse communities. It's also obvious that in some sectors we identify a sort of squeamishness or a tentativeness in having those conversations, sort of discomfort in talking about religion and belief, which needs to be combated in order to grow the religious literacy of everyone, regardless of background. So in the report, we make a whole host of recommendations, including greater religious literacy for public servants, stronger parental engagement with school-based forms of RE. And that's really important because one of the things that we found is that actually parents engaging with their children's religious education almost find it a kind of second form of RE for them. They learn more through what their children are learning about or through their interactions on the playground or at the school gate than they perhaps did when they were in school years ago. And there's also more generally recommendations about the need for greater strategic thinking about informal as well as formal forms of RE. That might look like local sacres having strategies for informal religious RE, or it being part of cohesion strategies at a local council or even national level. Because if every sector of society is provided with the tools and the confidence for these good conversations about religion and belief literacy, then informal RE can and will happen pretty much anywhere. Greater formal literacy will lead to greater informal opportunities for RE, which will in turn mean a more religiously literate population, a more cohesive community, and a more cohesive country. The fact that this is not currently occurring strategically or universally across the UK is a missed opportunity for a better society. You can read our recommendations, our findings, and more in our new Theos report, Beyond the Classroom, available on the website now. We'd love it if you read it, engaged with it, and if you've got thoughts, questions, or ways that you'd like to work with us to take these recommendations further, both Theos and Culham St Gabriel would love to hear from you.